Do you think it's a coincidence that the restaurant and the golf course are both going to be closed at the same time?
No, do you?
No, I think it's interesting. I think it could be maybe moving towards what we were saying a few weeks ago that, once they reopen Turf Club, maybe it'll have a breakfast or a all day brunch and then have a dinner service with a separate menu
Yeah.
kind of thing. Cater more towards the golfing crowd, be like an afternoon bar where people can have some drinks after the round, things like that.
Welcome to the Addicted to DVC podcast, a deep dive into all things Disney Vacation Club. We share tips, tricks, and insider info, helping you make the most of your membership. Join us for the latest news, reviews, and interviews with DVC experts and enthusiasts. Whether you're a seasoned DVC member or considering your first contract, this podcast is for you. Now, here are your hosts, Mike Hurley and Gary Arruda.
Welcome to the Addicted to DVC podcast with Mike and Gary. This is episode 90, recorded in the DeFont Leroy Recording Studios in Sarasota, Florida, and Cranston, Rhode Island. I'm your host, Mike in Florida, joined by my cousin and co-host, Gary, up in Rhode Island. Good evening.
Hey,
Gary,
what's going on, Mike?
Frank Arruda.
How
Not
you doing?
much. Oh, I'm great.
That's good. What's new in your neck of the woods? Anything good, exciting going on?
Nah, negative. I had a little meltdown. We recorded the Elevated Escapes podcast. We did a Disney review, Disney's Coronado Springs. So it's just me and Susie, as you're well aware.
Mm-hmm.
And I go and I get my, it took 8 hours for my local recording to finally upload. And I put that into my editor. And 45% of the whole freaking thing was frozen. For those of you watching on YouTube, it was frozen.
That's weird.
So the cloud recording was fine, but the local recording was jacked up. So I start. You ever try to break your mouse?
No.
No, you've never punched it and then try to pull. See this thing? I
Yeah.
try to pull this to break it.
Yeah. No, I haven't done that.
You've never done that? Okay, yeah.
No.
I was smat punching it, and sometimes I even get like my knuckles. You get like little scrapes on your knuckles because it just punching at your mother.
That's normal.
So, anyways,
behavior. Yeah.
You asked me how I was doing, and I'm doing great.
There you go. Well, that's good.
See, now as a good manager, which from what I've heard, you're a great manager.
Oh, who'd you hear that from?
I've just heard through the grapevines.
Oh, okay.
You're just you're a great manager. What you would do is say, Mike, I need to take this off the table for a couple of weeks. I need you to get your head back straight.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's what a good manager would do. So what you're saying is that you're not going to do that, and therefore you're a poor manager?
Luckily, I'm not your manager, so I don't have to do that, is what I'm going to say.
I got to try to position the microphone. It has to be in front of the camera. It looks too good, doesn't it, in front of the camera? I like that head.
Yeah. No, it does look good. What are we talking about this week on the Addicted to DVC podcast?
Little smorgasbord of stuff. I forwarded you something. It looks like the LBV golf course is going to be under renovation.
Yeah, I saw that starting. They have no more tee times available starting May 4th. Going into.
So they're getting out of season.
They said about September, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so they made all their money in season. This is their slow time.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like they're redoing the greens.
Yeah, and doing some drainage work too. Which is good because that place is wet all the time.
All the time. That place is wet. I mean, the Magnolia and Palm, a hole here or there, but it just seems like LBV.
Yeah.
Is even further underwater than the Palm and Magnolia because there are a lot of wet spots in the fairways, aren't there?
Yeah, for sure. So that's hopefully will help a lot of it. Redoing some of the bunkers around the greens, redoing the greens and some of the tees. I'm sure the par 3 tees need to get redone. Those get beat up pretty well.
Maybe they redo that bridge that Schaefer destroyed.
That thing's a historic site now. I don't think they can touch it because of
Is it
that shot.
really?
Yeah. Yeah. I got a call from Mike Schaefer this morning at 7:30 in the morning. He called me by accident. I see it pop up in
I
my
was gonna
car.
say, like, as in a phone call?
Yeah, it's Mike
How did
Schaefer.
he butt dial you?
He was trying to call somebody else. I must have been near him in the phone book, maybe another Gary or a Jurgen or something.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, "What's up?" And he's like, "Oh," he's like, "I didn't mean to call you." I'm like, "That's all right. How's everything going?"
You were hoping maybe he wanted to plan a Jarman's trip.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, I'll take phone calls. That's fine. Every once in a while. A
Well,
nice
back when he
surprise.
was in the business, he was always picking your brains. You probably thought you were gonna sell him a little bit of fertilizer, right?
Well, that's actually why I thought he was called. I thought he had a professional question for me, but it was a butt dial. Not a butt dial, but a wrong number. I guess. It happens. It happens. So, yeah, Lake Buena, speaking of Schaefer at Lake Buena Vista, it's interesting to me, and I don't know if I mentioned it to you or if I wanted to save it. Yeah, I wanted to save it to hear your reaction. Do you think it's a coincidence that the restaurant and the golf course are both going to be closed at the same time?
No, do you?
No, I think it's interesting. I think it could be maybe moving towards what we were saying a few weeks ago that, once they reopen Turf Club, maybe it'll have a breakfast or a all day brunch and then have a dinner service with a separate menu
Yeah.
kind of thing. Cater more towards the golfing crowd, be like an afternoon bar where people can have some drinks after the round, things like that.
Because from what we understand, it's gonna be a pretty extensive, refurbishment for the turf club.
Yeah, it seems
It's
like
not just throwing a fresh coat of paint up there.
no, they're not just replacing the chairs and the booths and stuff. It looks like it's going to be closed for a while, so I'm excited as it being one of my home resorts. I like to see that. The the renovation of the course is nice. It's good they keep up on that. And then the turf club as well. I think sounds like the pro shop is safe. They're not going to change anything in there.
That whole area is due for a refresh, though, don't you think? That's still, like, out of 1976. The
Yeah,
locker rooms and
yeah.
the pro shop.
I just don't know how easily they could do it because of it being like the bottom of that whole building, essentially. I
I don't
guess this
think you
would
have to gut it.
that's true. I guess this would be the time if the course is closed, they don't need to have the golf shop open, right?
Probably not, although you're gonna be selling those Peter Millar, Donald Duck smashing his clubs for $179 to me while I'm staying there overnight or a weekend at Saratoga Springs.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out because I'll be there the week after the course closes, so I'll investigate and see if the pro shop's open.
You still have that free round of golf, don't you?
I guess I could show him the email. It was half price, I believe he said.
Half price? Okay.
Yeah, it's from like 8 years ago. You think they'd honor it still?
I mean, I'd have to read the fine print. We might have to have our lawyers take a look at it. You're no longer
It's fine.
in a litigious mood, are you? A couple weeks ago, you were going to sue me for, was it slander?
No,
When I said that you
no.
were getting those pirated CDs?
I don't believe I said I got I was like I said, I bought blank CDs. You keep putting
No,
words
when
into
I
my
said
mouth.
that, I said you did. I
Oh,
said
and
you
you
did. You
accused me
said you
of
were
it.
going to
Yeah,
sue
yeah,
me.
right.
Is that litigation? That's correct, right? Is that
Right. I
litigation
I
no
dropped the
longer?
case.
Am I going to be served papers shortly?
My counsel advised me to drop the case.
Okay, that's good to know. So then we can have them read
Yeah.
over and see if I can get a 50% off round of golf.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, no, I'm happy they're doing some work though at Saratoga. Um It'll be interesting to see when it's all done. And the tree houses, those are going on. There's a lot going on over there at the Springs.
Yeah, they are. Yep. When did they say that they were going to start was that in September or is that relatively soon, those treehouse? We did talk about it on a previous
I
podcast,
think
but I slipped my mind.
I think it's supposed to be done by September.
Okay. All right. I wasn't sure if it was started or going to be done by September. I mean, they don't have a ton of units, but
Yeah. And you also wanted to talk about some big news that came out
Mhm.
what, a week or two ago?
about a week or two ago. Yeah, we're a little bit ahead. I wouldn't say we're ahead of a lot of podcast or ahead like a lot of podcasters because some people record 3, 4, 5 episodes at a time, but we're about 5 days ahead of when we normally schedule, just to give me a little bit of breathing room when I edit.
Right.
But we really didn't have we haven't talked about the would you say the language that came out from Disney Vacation Club regarding the professional renters?
Yeah, commercial rentals. They definitely put some verbiage in there that seems like it allows them to have some recourse if they decide to use it.
Mm-hmm.
And it certainly looks like it will not affect the normal everyday users like you and I who use it, even if we wanted to rent our points.
Right.
Even if we rented half our points every year, it wouldn't affect us. It sounds like it's only going to
No.
affect people doing, what, up to 20, they said, something like that?
Was it 20 reservations a year?
Something like that, yeah. That aren't in your name. So you can make
Gotcha.
20 reservations. It's not going to affect you if you book 20 rooms, as long as you're
Right, right, right.
staying there.
Right.
Do you have that pulled up, or you need me to pull it up?
Yeah, you can pull it up.
All right. So it says there's a statement that they made. Disney Vacation Club membership is intended for personal use and enjoyment only. Governing documents prohibit members from using their membership for commercial purposes. Members are not permitted to engage in the practice of regularly or frequently selling, renting reservations booked using their membership. So there's some different changes, and then at the end of March, this was the formal policy. They clearly defined what they mean by commercial use, the specific behaviors they feel mean that, and the enforcement actions. So what they consider commercial use now is when a majority of reservations or points are used by individuals other than the member or their associates. Booking overlapping reservation across resorts, room types, or dates. Regularly advertising rentals, including websites, social media, or third-party platforms. Making more than 20 reservations within a 12-month period where most are not used personally. And conducting marketing activity on property such as photography or video used to promote rentals.
That's ballsy, huh?
The criteria represent a major shift from prior language, which relied heavily on subjective interpretation of terms like frequent or regular. If DVC decides that you are using your points commercially, these are the enforcement tools available, which may be applied for up to 24 months, depending on the severity of the violation. Canceling future reservations, restricting access to online booking, limiting reservations to the member only, restricting bookings to the home resort only, preventing reservation modifications, restricting banking, borrowing, or transferring of points, suspending incidental membership benefits, removing or restricting associate access, and limiting check-in options such as online or mobile check-in. So there's some frequently asked questions that they updated. Can a member rent out their points? Yes, renting is still allowed on an occasional basis. However, frequently or regularly renting points is prohibited. Is there a difference between a broker and a renter? Yes, brokers operate marketplaces that connect members with renters. A violating renter is someone personally engaging in frequent or regular rental activity. Can members use third-party rental websites? Yes, DVC confirms it is not affiliated with any third-party rental platforms, and members assume all responsibility for any consequences when using them. So you can still rent points, but there's more boundaries. You could do it occasionally for unused points and one-off situations like schedule changes. However, repeated rental patterns are going to be cracked down upon, business style activity, and purchasing memberships primarily for profit. So now the distinction is the trackable behavior patterns they have. Especially the 20 reservation one is good. I like that because if you're making that many reservations over the course of a year,
Yeah, you got some serious points, don't you?
you got a lot of points because you probably, even if you made one nights only, you could still only do about 10 or 12, right? All in studios with your points.
Yeah, with my 300 combined points.
I guess you could do more. You could do
Um,
like 15 one night stays,
yeah,
maybe.
15 max. Doing a lot of Saratoga and Old Key West.
Right. So you need to have, and most reservations aren't going to be one night. So especially if you're trying to sell it, you need at least 2 or 3 nights. So what does it mean for the average DVC member? Not really a whole heck of a lot, right? It doesn't affect you and I. I mean, I want to use all my points anyway, but if I ever wanted to rent them 1 year just to go somewhere else and use the money from the rental, I'm not going to be affected. I'm still going to be able to do that if I wanted to rent out my 200 and something points.
Now, the other thing I was just thinking about is, do they have any way to say we've both got 2 contracts,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they see that I'm using my Riviera and I'm using my Grand Floridian. They're all for personal stays. What about if I pick up that third contract and it's a cheap Saratoga Springs contract?
Yeah.
And they see I'm using that contract a majority of the time and putting them in other people's names. Is that going to throw up a flag?
Yeah, it sounds like it. It said if you're
Is
using points like frequently, like having membership just to make profit.
like just like for say like 100% of my Riviera and my Grand Floridian are stays that are in my personal name, and then 80% of my Saratoga is put in somebody else's name. I mean, overall, all 3 of my contracts, it makes it kind of look like I'm using it for personal use, but that one contract overwhelmingly shows that I'm putting them in other people's names. I wonder if that would somehow flag it.
I bet not, just because unless it was like you had your 150 points, and then you had 1,000 points for Saratoga and you were renting them all out.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you would probably have enough to have that 15, 20 bookings going on where it's going to throw up a red flag. But if you had another 150 points at Saratoga and you were renting out 2 or 3 rentals a year, even if it was all you were doing with that contract, I don't think it would throw up the red flags. I suppose it could. The verbiage makes it sound like it's possible they could restrict that contract if they figured it out, but I don't think it would, set off any alarms based on what they describe. Sounds like the regular, ordinary people are going to be largely unaffected by it. If you rent out 25, 30 points a year because you don't use them, I think you're in the clear. I don't think you have to worry about it.
Yeah. And we've run numbers. I've done it more than you, just looking at the potential of making money. And it is so hard. If I have 100-point Grand Floridian and I just want to book them around Christmas, that's desirable to stay at the Grand Floridian in December to see the lights and this and that. And it's even hard to break even when you're talking about maintenance dues, and it's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was easy to make a lot of cash, all of us savvy DVC people would get into that business. I just think you need thousands and thousands and thousands of points in order to
just
start making some cash.
Purely volume, you're saying?
It's gotta be volume. I think it has to be volume. Because for you to buy a 100-point contract, even at just breaking it down, 100 points, $100 a point, $10,000.
Mhm.
That's a big risk if you're just using that contract to make money. And then when do you get your return on investment? It's going to be a few years. And it's just, I don't know. I just don't think it's ever been advantageous for small people like you and I.
Yeah, because what's the most you can rent out? Like $20 a point when you rent a
Yeah.
point?
Yeah.
So if you that's only like $2,000 a year, right?
And you need 11-month resorts because if you want to get the hard to get Grand Floridian and Polynesian and
Yeah.
Grand Cal, some of your most sought after resorts, you have to have that 11-month window.
Mhm.
So now it's even more expensive. I just think it's more of a pain and it's just too much risk to make money. But obviously people are doing it.
Yeah. It's really the, um, guaranteed reservation ones that drive me nuts. I think those are the ones that they're really trying to crack down on. Because if you go on a rental site and you say, "I wanna book a room for these dates at either Saratoga, Old Key West, or Boulder Ridge," and then they go out to a member that's trying to rent points and it costs, 150 points. Like, that's not really those rooms are still available for members to book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. Yep.
But it's when people grab all the desirable ones, all the club level rooms at Animal Kingdom and all the, like you said, the poly rooms at 4th of July or all the Grand Floridian rooms in December, and then members can't get them because people are so selling,
Mm-hmm.
reserved reservations. That kind of stinks.
Yeah, it completely waters down the product.
Mhm. Like, if I wanted to rent those points from somebody and somebody made me a reservation because it was available when I asked for it and they could
Mm-hmm.
do it, then that's fine. Everyone had the chance to do it. I don't know. It's interesting that they made it very cut and dry or cut and dry enough that they can enforce something now.
I think for a while it was kind of the don't do it, don't do it. We're watching you.
Yeah.
And I think the commercial renters said, go F yourself. We're going to continue doing it. And it just got to a point. It's, kind of like giving your guys a warning, like, hey,
Mhm.
here's the deal. Upper management is watching you and you gotta knock this stuff off. And then
Yeah.
they keep saying that, screw you, screw you. It's like, okay, I gave you the warning now. We're gonna have to come down hard.
Right. But my question is, do you think walking is next? Because they mentioned that too. Are they going to put rules in place for walking now?
I just don't know how they do it
I
unless they just limit the amount of times that I think,
I think it's easier.
yeah, you can modify.
You can
You
only
can only
modify
modify a certain amount of
like
times.
2 or 3 times online. Otherwise, you have to call member services to modify after you do that. Certain amount per reservation. Not saying
Mhm.
ever, because that would prevent someone from walking it for 30 days or something.
I mean, when you see, I study certain contracts, and when I see Grand Cal owners walking at 11 months, that just goes to show how impossible it is to get that reservation.
Right.
You ain't getting it at 7 when people are walking it
At
at
11.
11.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you're walking Saratoga Springs or Animal Kingdom Lodge reservations, are
No,
you?
I have not done
Yeah,
that.
okay.
Yeah. I didn't even have to walk the club level room that I got. It just happened to be there, and it was inside of
Mhm.
11 months. It wasn't under 7 yet, but it was inside 11. You can get club
And
level
you
at Animal Kingdom, not easily, but you can get it regularly if you own there.
Mhm. Yeah, but that's a product that they have to protect because that is such an attractive contract
Yeah.
between the cheap rooms, the value rooms,
Mhm.
and the club level. I mean, I was looking, you can get that studio in September for 7 points.
That's crazy, isn't it?
You're looking at a week for 35 points. That's insane. I paid 33 last Easter just for that club level.
Right, for one night.
You do a week.
Yeah. You could definitely max out your points. I mean, that's what we're doing. We're doing 8 nights in a one-bedroom
Yeah.
in the value. What a savings for
Yeah.
us.
No, that's a very attractive contract.
Because it's not like it's a crappy room, it's just a little smaller.
It's smaller.
That's it. It's still on, like, the 5th floor, or 4th floor, whatever, DVC floor there. It's nice.
And like I never when we stayed there cash years ago, we were walking. We've only ever stayed at Jumbo House, so we were walking over to Kadani, and we're looking at rooms. And Kristen's like, "That's a terrible room." And I looked up, and hindsight, it was a value room.
Yeah.
And I said, "Yeah, it's overlooking the parking lot. It's not desirable." And I didn't realize that that was straight up DVC. I said, "But Kristen, if that room costs $135 and Pop is 125, would you pay $10 more to be in a lousier room at Animal Kingdom Lodge?" She's like, "Yeah, I guess you're right." And that's the equivalent to what it is with DVC.
Right.
It's not very attractive, but as far as points are concerned, it's extremely attractive.
Well, the other thing with the value, not to get too deep into it, half the value rooms are facing the savannah. It's just the size of them. It's not even the view that make them a value
Mhm.
room. So there are, like, 1/4 of the rooms overlook the pool, 1/4 of the rooms overlook the parking lot, and the rest of them overlook a savannah. So you got, like, a 50-50, or basically a 75% chance of having a decent view.
Yeah.
But and also, you have no leg to stand on in the value room if you get a crappy view, though, either.
Oh, 100%, right.
I would never say anything. Even in the regular rooms, if I book a non-Savannah view, I get what I get, man. I don't care
Mhm.
what I'm looking over. It's still nice to be in a deluxe room, even if it is the value. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's kinda like what I liked about Boulder Ridge
Yeah.
was, yeah, I can put in a request. I said, my biggest thing was non-accessible because I just the bed's too short, blah, blah, blah. But if you have first floor, that's what you get. And if you have the garbage view, the
Yeah.
waste management view, that's what you're getting. But it's
I
not
almost
like
liked that I got that view. It made me laugh.
that was
It
fantastic.
was
When you
perfect.
say, of course, you had to take the picture when they were
Emptying it, yeah.
picking up the garbage.
Right. That's the best.
That's so dumb, isn't it?
But who cares? I still sat out on the balcony and enjoyed it. Like, I
Yeah,
don't
that waste management truck isn't making 15 trips.
No.
Now, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
If God rest his soul, Pete Warner stayed in
Oh,
that room, would you pay $20 to watch that video?
yes. He would have lost his GD mind if he stayed in that room.
I mean, he's staying at the Grand Floridian. He's pissed off because people are running around with laundry carts. He would have lost his mind.
And that's all it was. It was laundry carts going back over there, and then the dumpsters and stuff. It was great.
Where exactly was that located? Because I'm very familiar now with Boulder Ridge after staying there.
So we were on the 2nd or 3rd floor. I don't remember. All the way. We were the last room down. So if you go up the elevator and you go down, like, the wing towards,
Toward the pool?
yeah, like, towards the pool, all the way down, we were the last room on the right. So the other
Okay.
side would be facing the pool. This was the last room on the right, yeah. Or second to last room, I can't remember. One of
That's
those 2.
beautiful.
Yeah. You know what? Our room was ready at, like, 9 AM. I was not gonna complain about the view. We got
Yeah.
in, our early flight, got there, we were having some breakfast, we got the text at, like, 9 something that our room was ready. I didn't care what the view was at that point, you know what I'm saying?
It's almost like you're getting an extra half day.
Yeah, it's beautiful when you
Like, you
get
could get in there and take a nap and still have the rest of your day. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's worth it. Absolutely worth it.
And I bet you because it was available, it's probably one of the last rooms they're gonna give out.
Yeah, I think if they're not full, they're not just gonna, like, throw it to
Yeah, if they're
people.
at 80% capacity, correct, yeah. I mean, when they're banging,
Someone's gonna
and
say
and
that.
Boulder Ridge is banging all the time, even in the summer when it's a little bit slow in July, there's still probably 95% capacity just because there's so few rooms in Boulder Ridge.
Yeah, I would think so. Especially the studios. Yeah, no complaints from me.
Now, did you see? We didn't talk about this in our pre-show meeting, but supposedly Disney is dropping their draws on a direct contract with Bay Lake Tower.
Really?
Yeah, I just read an article. I heard they're dropping like $45 a point.
So it's under 200 a point?
If that's what the math says, it might be under 200 a point.
Because it was like 239, I thought was the direct price for that. So that means it would be like 196, 195.
Because that's still on your radar, isn't it?
I like Bay Lake a lot. Even though we haven't stayed there, I like that it's an attractive contract. I'd love to get the direct benefits. I still don't think it's worth 30 grand. Even with that. And that's probably if you do all like the buyback incentives, right? Because they give you like the extra points and then they buy them back from you as a rebate kind of thing. I'm assuming.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're looking at $45 at 200 plus points. So 100 to 124 is $25 per point discount. I wasn't even aware that they were buying that back. So they must have bought some contracts back, huh?
I guess so. Because it was sold out.
Yeah, I mean, everything's sold out. Riviera is very close to it.
Yeah.
With the exception of Alani, Polynesian, Disneyland, and Fort Wilderness.
Right. Well, they got to sell a lot of stuff because once Lakeshore Lodge opens, that's going to be the next one. They're going to have to put all their eggs into that basket.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I still can't justify that much for the direct benefits. $200 a point is still a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a lot.
I mean, it's never going to be lower either.
No,
No,
direct's always going to be going up.
My only hope is that they have like a buyback kind of thing where you can wash.
I mean, there's some resorts you could buy Saratoga resale or direct. I think they have some pretty good deals on Saratoga.
Yeah, but it's still way more than buying resale. It's just hard to justify.
Yeah. Oh, it's always going to be.
But I'm saying if they gave you like if you could buy the blue card as a resale member somehow, then now we're talking. I don't know what the price would be, but
it would have to be a lot because now there's zero incentive in buying direct, other than the fact that you can't stay at Riviera and the newer resorts.
Right. But I want we've talked about this before. How valuable are the benefits to someone who already has like resale? Because I bet there's not a lot of people that have resale that really care about the direct benefits. It's probably a small group.
It is very valuable to us because we're locals, and I can jump on a Moonlight Magic. Moonlight Magic is basically you have to be lucky.
Mm-hmm.
You have to already have a reservation that's booked, and then they say, "Oh, we're dropping Moonlight Magic on XYZ date."
Yeah, because they don't do it 6 months ahead. It's like 2.5 months ahead. Yeah,
correct. So you have to be lucky. They're doing it. We're booked at the Grand Floridian in September, and there's an Epcot Moonlight Magic, which I'm dying to go, and we're pretty good chance that we're going to be able to go because December it's dead, and that's why they're doing it because you can't go in December.
right.
So yeah, I mean, like I said, it cost us $5,000 to get the blue card. You'd probably pay $5,000 for a blue card, would you?
Yeah, I would. That's what I mean. I'd probably do if they gave you that. I don't think it would hurt the direct that much because I don't think enough people that buy direct know or care about looking into resale.
They don't know anything about
I bet
resale.
that Venn diagram is very small. I think it's a very small overlap of people who know about resale and care about the direct benefits. And if they could milk $5,000 out of those people, I don't think it's going to hurt their product. I don't think it's going to hurt the direct. I could be wrong. That's just my opinion on it. But yeah, I would do it for $5,000 in a heartbeat because it would save me about $2,000 a year.
Oh, just with your annual passes, right? Yeah. Yep. I think the loungers, my New England accent, lounges are huge. They're huge. To be able to duck in there in the middle of the day and grab some waters and sodas and chips and cool off, I like that.
It's nice, but I wouldn't pay $5,000 if that was the only benefit. I would not consider it. But
we're at the Magic Kingdom,
a huge benefit,
the other day. Yeah. See, that it's not a benefit for me because I get the Florida resident. I don't know. I don't have much more to talk about. You got anything you want to add?
No, I was gonna say I think that's about it for us, right?
All right. Yeah, I'll wrap us up. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at DVC Addicts. Email the show info@addictedtodvc.com and join our Facebook group, DVC Addicts. For my cousin and co-host Gary in Rhode Island, I'm Mike in Florida. Thanks for listening. We'll talk again next week.
Thank you for listening to the Addicted to DVC podcast with Mike and Gary. We want to hear from you. Email us at info@addictedtodvc.com and follow us on all socials at DVC Addicts. We appreciate you being a part of our DVC community, and we'll see you again on our next episode. Thanks again for listening, and welcome home.